Hi, this is Adrian, and today we're talking about beer, how beer is made, the history of beer, and why beer is so popular. Why is beer the most popular drink? Beer is the oldest and most widely consumed alcoholic beverage. It ranks only under water and tea. It's so popular because it doesn't deteriorate in periods of long storage and can handle being stored in any climate. How is beer made? Beer is made by brewing and fermenting starches, most of which come from malted barley. However, wheat, rice, and corn are also widely used. Hops are used to help flavor beer. This adds bitterness and also acts as a natural preservative to help keep beer in storage much longer than most beverages. So approximately how old is beer? During a dig, archaeologists discovered a 4,000-year-old Mesopotamian clay tablet with cryptic writing. When they deciphered it, it turned out to actually be a beer recipe. It's a little known fact that beer is actually the oldest written recipe. Beer was first brewed in ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Greece. It was brewed at home and in monasteries. In the Middle Ages, Europe made beer a commercial product. Today, the largest scale breweries are in the Czech Republic, Great Britain, Germany, and the United States. Here in America, the art of brewing beer was practiced by the Native Americans before the arrival of Christopher Columbus. The first Europeans to brew beer in America were the Virginia colonists in 1587. The manufacturing of beer was encouraged to reduce the consumption of stronger alcoholic beverages, such as whiskey. Another interesting fact about brewing beer in America came during World War I. Due to wartime restrictions, the brewing of beer was at first limited, then restricted altogether. As part of these restrictions, beer containing more than 0.5% alcohol was prohibited. It wasn't until 1933 that Congress legalized beer containing 3.5% alcohol. Did you know that the Babylonians brewed 16 types of beer? Well, they did. They used white and black barley, wheat, and honey. There's evidence of this in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, where they have listed the beer of truth and the beer of eternity. So what is beer if you can't drink it in your favorite glass? Throughout the ages, many civilizations have created their own drinking vessels. The Vikings created a wood-carved horn called a mead horn, which was used in Old Norwegian ceremonies. The Nigerians drank out of a brass bowl. Scandinavians drank from wood-carved cups that looked like longships. So how much do Americans spend on beer? This answer may surprise you. In 2007, Americans spent $61 billion on soda, where in that same year, Americans spent $97 billion on beer. Each year, 35 billion gallons of beer are sold. When you put it into comparison with the 46 billion gallons of water sold, Americans drink almost as much beer as they do water. That's a lot of beer. Do you ever wonder how sumo wrestlers are able to keep that fabulous physique? Well, it's understood that sumo wrestlers drink beer with every meal to help promote weight gain in their stomachs. The makers of Guinness claim that 0.56 milliliters of beer is lost in the facial hair during every sip. While in Ireland, I learned that the average number of sips to complete a pint of Guinness is 7. So when you think about it, that's a lot of wasted beer. What do you think of when you hear Pabst Blue Ribbon? I think of the cheapest beer in the world. Actually, Pabst Beer was the first beer to win the Blue Ribbon at the Chicago World Trade Fair. Since then, it has been renamed to Pabst Blue Ribbon. Here are a few interesting facts about beer. In the Middle Ages, monks brewing beer were allowed to drink 5 quarts of beer a day. In Bavaria, beer is actually still considered a staple food. A couple more interesting facts about beer. The first U.S. Marine recruiting station was held in a bar. The first brewery in America is in Hoboken, New Jersey, and the longest bar in the world is 684 feet long. I wonder how many bartenders it takes to man that bar. So who wins the award for the strongest beer in the world? That would be Samuel Adams Triple Bock. They have 17% alcohol by volume, which they achieve through using champagne yeast instead of beer yeast. Now it's time for some movie trivia. In the movie Shawshank Redemption, an error was made using beer. In one scene, with prisoners on the roof drinking beer, they were drinking out of bottles. But in the 1930s, beer was still being produced in cans. Did you know that America actually has a national alcoholic beverage? Congress named bourbon America's national alcoholic beverage. But since then, many have tried to overthrow bourbon and replace it with beer. Did you know that Sandra Bullock, Bruce Willis, Tom Arnold, Chevy Chase, Chris Christopherson, and Bill Cosby all started out their careers as bartenders? Hey all you Michelob drinkers, did you know that your beer was actually created by accident? In the 1930s, a strike at the brewery resulted in untrained workers brewing the beer. They haphazardly threw together a recipe that was so bad, the taverns threw the beer out into the street. After the strike, instead of throwing all the beer out, and for fear of losing all of that beer, they actually rebottled the beer as Michelob. Just so you know, it would take 30 minutes of cardiovascular exercise to burn off the calories in one bottle of beer. Bottles of beer contain anywhere from 65 to 235 calories per bottle. And for our last fact, please be aware that over 85,000 deaths were caused last year alone by drinking. So please, drink responsibly and don't drink and drive. As you know, people bite their nails, but did you know that people bite their toenails? Join me in an upcoming video and learn the most disgusting human habits. Well, that's the end of my video. Thank you for watching. Please, feel free to rate my video, leave me some comments, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Okay. Stored. Samuel Adams. Alright, I don't know beer very well, obviously.